All right, folks, we reintroduce the panel and solicit your phone calls again. Kristen Tate is here, libertarian author, political columnist, founder of thelibertarianchick.com, and author of Government Gone Wild. She's been married now for about 2.5 weeks. They said it wouldn't last. Julio Rivera, Newsmax insider, conservative activist, host of the Julio Rivera Show on Lanterns Radio Network, is also here. And your phone calls at 877-NEWSMAX, 877-NEWSMAX. Guys, I want to put something up before we put it up on screen. The emails are coming fast and furious, the Wikileaks stuff. Devastating stuff. I mean, you know, they're trying to Podesta wanting to, you know, have a revolution inside Catholicism, mocking, you know, the needy Latinos. We find out that Brian Fallon, her chief campaign spokesman, sent out an email plotting the strategy for how to explain the classified. Don't say that nothing was ever said. Say there was no classified email. Just say there was nothing ever classified. I mean, they promoted and thought about how to lie. Now let's put this up. This is from 2008. This is Podesta's on this. Paul Begala's on this. One of Hillary's pollsters in 2008 is on this. And they're listing like a whole bunch of things on how to go after Barack Obama. And looky, Obama's father was a Muslim. And Obama grew up among Muslims in the world's most populous Islamic country. So, Julio, this is a negative because this goes right along with his issues on guns. He didn't want to protect babies born of botched abortions. He talked about doing cocaine. They put this right in there with something bad, being a Muslim, growing up with Muslims.
Yeah, you know what? And the real hypocrisy of it is that they accuse Donald Trump of being anti-Islamic and being a xenophobe and being a racist and all these horrible things. And look at the way that they treated their own Democrat, you know, that they were running against. And the fact of the matter is the difference between what they're doing and what Donald Trump has said is what Donald Trump has said has been basic common sense things. We can't allow people into this country that can't be vetted for our own safety. There's nothing racist or anti-Islamic about that. But what they've done is basically a lot worse than what they accused Donald Trump of doing, which isn't even true. Right. I mean, there's no morals in that party. Right,
Kristen, they keep talking about, even the other day, they talked about the Khan family again, or she brought it up at the debate, yet I certainly hope Trump has a copy of this email in his hand and shows what they thought of someone who grows up among Muslims.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, Steve, but you know what? It honestly doesn't matter because, look, we've been watching CNN during the breaks. The channels aren't covering this stuff because the Obama administration and Team Hillary have deployed Michelle Obama to go onto the airwaves and say she's shaken by Trump's comments. So that's what all the outlets are covering. They're not covering these emails. Yeah. They're not going to cover these emails because Team Hillary will make sure the focus stays on Trump's comments and to make him look like a bigot, even though we have the smoking gun showing that her team is the bigoted team.
And by the way, we have like 100 TVs in here, so we have all the networks, and we were focusing on what we might point out, what Kristen is pointing to specifically, is that she went on Ellen DeGeneres today, did Hillary, and said, Donald stalked me. He stalked me on the stage. He was stalking me. I'm just a little woman, and he was stalking me. Pathetic. Let's get to Corey, who's on the line at 877-NEWSMAX. You could join him, 877-NEWSMAX. Oh, not Corey. I'm sorry. We'll get to Corey. Lauren in Napa, Idaho. Hello, Lauren. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hi.
Sir. Yeah. Sir, what can we do for you, sir? You're on.
Okay, they haven't announced me yet.
Okay, well, you're on with Steve.
Okay.
This is Steve, and thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Sorry they didn't give you a warning, but go ahead. You could say what you like, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
My pleasure.
What I wanted to say was that in battles and wars, and one in the trenches, in the case of the campaign and the polls that the alphabet media puts out always have Hillary leading, but their rallies doesn't support their poll claims, whereas Trump is leading in all the online polls, and his rallies support that. So why doesn't her rallies support their claims and their polls?
Well, I don't know, guys. Let me ask you, Julio. I mean, scientific polls, if they're done properly, are more, I think, more of an indicator than rallies. although the enthusiasm could be measured at the rallies and who's more likely to come out and vote. But these polls aren't fair. The Wall Street Journal NBC News poll wasn't fair. The CNN poll wasn't fair. They underrepresent Republicans all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that right now this is all about perception. What I liken this to is almost like a championship fight heading into the last round. It's all about perception. Whoever is, people think is landing the larger blows right at the end, it might carry towards the actual election. And you get all these media sources putting out these phony stories. Their retractions a week after the election isn't going to do anything for the American people.
Yep.
And I think it's absolutely ridiculous and shameful the way that they're conducting these polls, because they're trying to influence people. They're trying to make Republicans that maybe don't like Trump as much as they maybe like the other candidates think that it's already lost, so that they can just go ahead and not bother to have to vote for him. But the truth of the matter is, based on those rally sizes and the excitement that you see on online media, Donald Trump, I think, is doing just as well as Hillary is. I mean, I think it's right now a toss-up, and it depends on who gets the momentum after that third debate coming up next week. And if Donald Trump can get through to election day without any major faux pas, I mean, I think he's got a great chance of winning.
And Kristen, again, there's never been a tougher time for people who had been skittish about saying I'm voting for Trump to a pollster than right now. And yet, she's not 15 points ahead.
No, that's exactly right. But you made a good point, Steve, that these polls do not measure mobilization. All of the Trump supporters that I know personally, they cannot wait to vote. They're so excited. They want to take pictures of their ballots and put them on Facebook. The Hillary voters, they're like, yeah, I support Hillary because I don't like Trump, but they're not fired up. Obama got people fired up. Bernie got people fired up. You don't have that passion behind Hillary. So you may see low turnout from Democrats. And I guarantee you, though, everyone who answers these polls and does say they're voting for Trump, they will show up in November and vote.
Lauren, thank you very, very much, sir. Appreciate your call. Let's go to Jared in Las Vegas. I believe the site of the next debate next week. Hello, Jared. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Good to be talking with you.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to get acquainted about your earlier story about the issue on the plane.
Yes. Could I ask you to speak up a little?
Sure.
Thank you.
Is that a little better?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm in my late 60s, and I flew across the country a lot. And 35 years ago, in first class, there's no way you couldn't know everything else that's going on in first class. There's good spaces between all the seats. Without even anything being said, anybody else would have automatically been a witness to such an event. And she wouldn't have had to say anything. It's just so far-fetched, it's ridiculous.
What about the claim, and I don't know this, so I'm asking you, you say you flew a lot, and I certainly don't fly first class that much, and didn't then. Was there an armrest that was able to be lifted up at that time? Because some reports have said there were not.
No. Well, it depends on the airline.
Okay, if it depended on the airline. Because they say at that point they were stationary and you couldn't, it's only a recent phenomenon that you could lift them, but I don't know that.
No,
I thought maybe you'd have some input.
Yeah, first class was really first class on a lot of airlines.
Right, right. No, Jared, I think you make a good point. I mean, Kristen, I mean, if somebody's being assaulted, sexually assaulted on a plane, I mean, I just can't imagine that there wouldn't be several witnesses.
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking during this whole story when it came out. Like, where were the people sitting around them? It just makes no sense. Again, I mean, if this is true, it's horrible for Trump, but I just have trouble believing this story. It just, the timing of it, everything's just a little bit fishy. I mean, if I went on Twitter right now, Steve, and I said, oh, you know, Trump looked at me and made me feel uncomfortable and said a comment that wasn't quite right at a rally, I'd be on all the networks tomorrow.
Right.
I'd be famous.
Right.
But, you know, if it's against Bill, they don't care.
Julio, if you said that, you'd really be famous.
Yeah, maybe you should make up a false claim and see if we can help here at the end. No, but it's ridiculous, man, because there's no way to prove it. So anybody can come out of the woodwork and say anything, and it's not even questioned by the mainstream media. And this speaks to integrity in reporting. I think at this point, the mainstream media, the gloves are off. They don't care whether or not they're reporting the truth anymore, so long as they're pushing that agenda of trying to get Hillary Clinton elected.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I appreciate the call, sir. Corey in Massapequa, I'm sorry. We don't have time for you. If you call on Monday, almost said tomorrow, if you call on Monday, we'll make sure you're the first caller up. I really do appreciate it, Massapequa, not too far from where we are sitting. So, Julio and Kristen, I thank you both for joining me, and we'll do it again very, very soon. Up next, folks, Give Me Five. And really, I mean, CNN has done some crazy things, and Don Lemon, you know, has been over the top. You know, why should I have to be polite to cops? I'm a successful black man. We've documented all that. But denying that Hillary is laughing on a tape about getting a child rapist off when she's laughing on a tape, you got to watch it. It's coming next.